What's going on, guys? It's time for another horror film review. Today we're going to be talking about, well, an artsy type of horror film called Gretel and Hansel. It was released January 30th, 2020, and it's directed by Oz Perkins, and he's the one who did, like, I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House, and The Black Coat's Daughter. I actually have a review for that one on this channel somewhere, if you want to try to find that. Yeah, this had a budget of $5 million and had a box office earnings of over 22.1 million. So it was a pretty decent, successful film. And, well, what did I think of it? Well, first, Gretel and Hansel is basically a modern take on Hansel and Gretel, where Hansel and Gretel is a child's fairy tale, I guess, of like a witch living in a gingerbread house made of candy and stuff and trying to eat them. And but this one is a little different. This is definitely meant for the more mature audiences. This is an interesting gothic sort of feel to it. And so instead of a gingerbread house, it has a gothic cathedral looking cottage that the witch lives in. And then the Gretel Hansel are running from like an abusive family and stuff like that, which actually has a pretty creepy opening scene. I love the opening scene in this movie. And most of the shots when it comes to like the more melodrama and stuff in the film is actually really well shot. And the cinematography is hit and miss. But, anyways, so they're fleeing from their abusive, like, guardians, I guess you could call them. And, yeah. And as they go, they find the witches. The one where Greta is sitting there, talks to like the older lady, which is actually a witch, and yeah, talks to her and becomes more entranced with her, and then she lets him stay and stuff like that. And she goes to bed and she has these nightmarish dreams, and then which slowly but surely leads to basically what is going on in what the witch's actual plan is and what she has. And then she slowly starts realizing, and her younger brother is Hansel is just really enjoying himself. But as they go outside, you can see clues and stuff of trying to show them what it is. It's almost like a coming of age story, basically, in a horror setting. And so the horror stuff in this is very minimal. Most of it's through the dream sequences and stuff like that. But I gotta say, so there's two forms of cinematography here. There's the really good one, where it's like really well stage lit and everything, really dark. But then when you go to the dream sequence, the CG blood and stuff looks like PS2 graphics, and it's terrible. And the acting is okay. It's very mumbly and stuff. But if you've seen The Black Coat's Daughter, Oz Perkins, the way he directs it, he always tries to keep it. He keeps silence in the film to make it more abstract, and it kind of moves the picture as well. And which sort of works in this one. This one by far is his best one. Mind you, I only seen one of his other films, but I thought this one was pretty good for the most part. There's not very much horror. It's like really creepy scenes and stuff, but it's not really scary or anything like that. And but it's a good little spooky movie, and with not much to it. And they could have added a little more interesting things here and there, because some scenes just play on a little too long. But for the most part, it is an interesting, amusing film. So I'm going to give Gretel and Hansel a 3.5 out of 5. It's a decent one, but it might not be for everyone. It's very artsy. So, but I actually kind of enjoyed this. I enjoyed this probably about as equally as Black Coat's Daughter. So if you like that, you'll probably like this one too. But if you didn't like it, The Black Coat's Daughter, you probably won't like this one. If you haven't seen either of them, well, it's hit or miss. So take your chances. But yeah. But if it sounds like something you might be interested in, there's a trailer link down below, like always. Also linked down below is my Instagram, the throws, post clips of films I'm going to review in the future. All my stories, you have the film title hashtag and the subgenre film in a hashtag, so you're aware of it. And make sure, and also, uh, yeah, link down below is my Letterbox Dare Peer reviews. That's where I post my first starter after watching the films. So follow me on those platforms. Stay in loop with this channel. Like this video, share some more people aware of it. Comment your opinions of the film down below if you have any, and also if you have any other films or film franchises in any genre that you want to hear my opinions on in the future, comment those down below. I'll try my best to get to them as soon as I can, and if I can find them. And so yeah, that's it for this one. Make sure you subscribe because hopefully we find something weird, obscure, and odd that you probably never thought of checking out together. And also, so you hear my opinions on popular films coming out, something like that. This and classic films as well. And also make sure you click that bell icon because we're going to go into more horror thrillers and other Halloween favorites and stuff till we get to Halloween. So make sure you tune in for more because the next one's going to be more of a crime thriller, but it's a thriller, so I'm throwing it in this. And that's The Hunt for the BTK Killer, which they used the actual interview narration and dramatize it. So should be interesting. So make sure you tune in for my opinions on that, and I guess I'll see you all in the next one. So watch out for all those killer older ladies trying to eat our kids, and I guess I'll see you all in the next review. So until then, cheers.